this workout, or warm up, I guess. Actually, I'm going to explain it while the screen's big. I'm going to pull it up on my phone. And that way people can see the demo a little bit better of the movements. Okay. So warm up is 6 minutes. Just going to get the cobwebs out from the weekend. So the reps for the warm up is 3, 6, 9. So we're starting out with three inchworms. So I'll just kind of show those. So basically on the inchworm, what we're looking for is get the upper body a little bit and then the hamstrings and hips kind of warmed up. So we want to try to keep the legs straight, reaching for the ground, and then walking out to a plank, and then doing a push-up, and then trying to walk our hands as close back to our feet as we can, stand tall, and repeat for 3. And then we have 6 Russian baby makers. I don't know who came up with the name, but it's always kind of funny. So this is meant to get your squat positions kind of warmed up. So squat stance, and then we just want to reach for our feet, but keeping our knees out on the outside of our arms, driving our hips down, pushing those knees out, get a nice little stretch, hold your feet, drive your hips up to get a good hamstring stretch, and then back down. So we don't want to rush through those, just take your time. Try to think of it as loosening up a little bit, getting your squats ready. And then we have some double dumbbell Romanian deadlifts. So if you have two dumbbells, you can go ahead and work through these. And again, this is kind of meant to get us ready for some power cleans in the workout, get those hips or the hinge from the hip kind of warmed up. So keeping that back flat, soften the knees, and then I'm just going to drive the hips back, keeping that chin tucked, just go as far as I can, and then back up as far as I can with that my back rounding. So that's what it looks like with 2 dumbbells. If I just have one, I could either do like one side at a time, or I could do just 9 right in the middle. That's fine either way. Kind of depends on how heavy your dumbbell is that you have available to you. And I think that's it for the warm up. We're just going to cycle through that for 6 minutes. I'll bring it up on the screen so you can all see it.
Corey, for a warm-up, would you recommend a 20-pound wall ball or a 20 or a blue kettlebell? Let me forget what this is. 26 pound.
I would do the 26 pound.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it'll be a little bit better.
Perfect.
Cool, man. Workout. Maybe I'll pull it up for a minute and then I'll demonstrate the movements. Okay, so workout, really simple. 12-minute AMRAP, 50 air squats to kick off each round. So that's obviously quite a large number there. This will be good Murph prep, I suppose, which is next Monday. And then we have 7 strict pull-ups if you have access to a pull-up bar. Otherwise, we have some options, and I'll talk about those here in a moment. And then we have, if you have 2 dumbbells, it's 10 double dumbbell cleans, power cleans. If not, I'll show you some options. So I'm going to pop up the big screen here. Okay, so let's talk about briefly the air squat. Hopefully you guys are feeling, I know you two are feeling great about it. Hopefully those at home are starting to feel pretty great with their air squat. But just remember your setup. So we just want those feet about shoulder width apart. We want to get the hips below the crease of the top of the knee here, and then standing tall. So at the top, we have a straight line that you can draw through your hips, knees, and ankles. If the squat is still a challenging movement for us or getting depth, maybe we squat to an object like a chair. So I could squat down, touch the chair, and then right back up. I don't want to relax on the chair. I just want to touch it and go. So that's an option there if you need some to like kind of scale that movement just a little bit. Let's see, with the pull-ups, so a lot of us don't have a pull-up bar right now, so we can, I got some options here on my little screen. We could do some bent over rows. So first of all, we could use a band. If you have a band, you could actually take the band right under the feet, just like so, flatten that back, and then just pull just like you would with like some dumbbells. So this is a great option, trying to control it down as well. I love the banded option if you have one. Or we could take our two dumbbells here and work through. If they're heavy enough to where it's challenging for 7 reps, let's just keep it at 7. If your dumbbells are pretty light and maybe it'd be too easy, we can always increase the weight a little bit to make it more challenging. So maybe 10 to 14 reps. So if I have 2 dumbbells, I'm kind of thinking of that Romanian deadlift in the warm-up. Shoulders back, soft knees. I'm gonna hinge, and then I'm gonna pull towards, kind of back towards the hips and back down. So you'll notice my hands almost trace with my thighs. And I wanna control those for the 7 reps. That would be the double row. Or if I have 1, I could do 7 on each side. So here. If I have a hard time bracing for this movement, I can put my hand up on a surface to kind of give me some support and work through 7 per side. If we have like a backpack, we would just double the reps, depending on the weight, I guess. So like I said, kind of like with the dumbbells, 10 to 14 reps if it's too light. Or if you have a heavy backpack or sandbag, we would just do a bent over row like so. And then what do we have next? We have the power cleans. So on the power cleans, a couple things. I think we did these like last Thursday or Friday, but a couple things here. Again, we want to maximize the leg and hip drive, trying to save our biceps basically, because this could turn into like a bicep curl if we start bending the arms too early on the way up. So try to think of the order of operation of legs, hips, get that pop, and then shrug, pull to that front rack position. And at the bottom, we want the dumbbells, they could start either between the feet, which is kind of what I prefer. So only one head has to touch for each rep. So I can start right between the feet, so the dumbbell heads are actually lined up with my feet here. It's a good start position. Chest is tall, eyes are forward. Or I could go right outside the feet here. For me, that's a little more challenging. I don't know if it's like the length of my limbs or whatnot, but I have a hard time doing the dumbbells on the outside of my feet. So play around with that a little bit. See where you feel like you're in the best position. And then as we drive up, we want to, again, focus on legs, hips, little shrug, rotate, and quick turnover so the bottoms are facing forward. So a couple of reps might look something like this here. I'm gonna try to keep those arms straight as long as I can. And then boom, straighten the arms on the way down, touch the ground. And I'll work through my reps. We could do the same thing if we, with the backpack or sandbag, if we do not have dumbbells. The other thing is if we have, let's see. If we only have heavy ones, we could lower the reps. Like if we have something that seemed a little too heavy, we could just lower the reps down to 7 instead of 10. Or on the other flip side of that is if we have lighter ones, we could go 14 to 21 reps to get the right stimulus. And the stimulus we're looking for today is the squats might be the part you have to break up or stop the most, but the rest of it, the 7 and 10 reps, we want to be able to like get through those in like 1 set pretty much, or maybe 2 sets at the most. So we're looking for 3 to 4 rounds would be like ideal here in this workout. I'll pull it up here so you guys could see it one more time. I think that is kind of it there. We do have a leg strengthening finisher today too. So, okay. So it's the split squat complex. So we'll start a new set every 90 seconds for 6 sets. So that means you have from 0 to 130 for set 1, 130 to 3 for set 2, 3 to 430 for set 4, and then 430 to 6 for set 5, and 6 to 730 for set 6. And it's meant to be like light and fast. And the way it works is you do the full complex with a weight, and then you drop the weight and do it again without the weight back to back on the same side in the same 90-second window. And then if you get done with any time left, you get to rest until the next 90 seconds. Then you do the same thing on the other side. So it's six total sets, but only 3 sets per leg. So, and each set is 42 reps. So I'll show you what a set would look like. And again, this is a movement that for me is also very challenging. So I would have to go pretty light with the weight. So like I might try the weighted part with like a 26-pound kettlebell, or even if I had like 2 10-pound dumbbells on the side, I think that'd be better instead of having to hold this like in the goblet. Again, if it's too challenging to get through all the reps in that 90-second window, don't do weight, just do the whole thing twice without weight. It's more important here to get the reps in versus trying to go heavy and then kind of getting behind. So the split squat is, we just have to elevate 1 foot up onto some kind of a object here. If it's really high, maybe your back knee doesn't touch the ground. If it's kind of lower, it's okay if your back knee does touch the ground. And then basically, the complex goes like this. So we'd start with 7 reps of the bottom range. So I'll get my foot up here. If I'm holding this object, I go to the very bottom part of the movement, and then I go from the bottom to just above parallel and back down 7 times, like so. And then I'll go right up to the top and do the top part for 7 reps. So I go from the top to right above parallel for 7, and then I do the full thing for 7. And then I drop the weight, and then I do that whole thing again without the weight. So you guys might remember this. It's definitely challenging.
Do we do the same leg? Is that what you're saying? So don't just drop the weight and then do that again, 7, 7, 7, 7.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, so you end up doing 42 reps on one leg.
One leg.
And then the next 90-second window, you do the other leg, 42 reps. So you get, quads of steel here.